a change to taxable definition of beer in Australia. Oh, mate, here we are. A little bit of deja vu, but
yes, hello, Adzi. How are you?
Welcome back to the podcast.
Podcast take 2.
That's right. So, for anyone who normally listens to the podcast, there wasn't one last week because I was recording incorrectly. That's right. So Dan and I did a whole episode, a good one of 45 minutes. You filled in, because Phil wasn't here, and once again, you're filling in, and it's take 2. So there's still a couple of things that we talked about last week on there to talk about again.
Yep.
But I've got a whole bunch of new stuff there. So, mate, welcome. Thanks
cool
for
bananas. No worries.
coming back. And the rehearsal last week was good.
Yeah.
We'll get this one in the bag.
Should be much better today. We've already practiced it all. So.
Yeah, that's right. Mate, quick shout out to our sponsors, as always. Bintani, Craft Punks Canning, Convoy Kegs, Rattlings Labels and Stickers, and of course...
Parker Brewing Concern.
It is concerning.
Thanks, Phil.
That's it. Yes, mate, not this week, but last week we were in, not we, you and I, but Joel and I, were in the city recording at Little Miss Sunshine.
Wouldn't want to get Joel and I mixed up.
No, well, you're pretty handy with the camera.
Yeah.
I am too, but...
I like things that fly in the sky. I like to take photos of them.
That's right, yeah. But yeah, no, it was a good chat with Becky. Got both of her beers on tap at the moment. There's just a little Hell's Lager and a nice little Pale Ale, which the bitterness, as she even said, the bitterness in it is not what she wants. It's a little bit more than it should be for the style. But I quite like it. It's sort of, the hops that are in there are so punchy. It's almost like a little session IPA.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Pretty damn good. And both beers were tasty. Actually, the lager was going down a treat. So
yeah, I've got to drop in.
Yeah, if you're anywhere near the Brisbane CBD, also the building that they're in, it's freaking amazing out the back. It's like this big historical building in the middle of the side. No idea it even existed. It's a great spot. And they said, she kept saying, oh, it's a bit quiet today. It's fucking packed. People everywhere.
Yeah.
So no, it was good. I enjoyed it. Enjoyed it thoroughly. So yeah, that'll be coming out next week. And yesterday, I had to fix up I've had a bad week with podcasting.
No,
yeah. The website had the wrong link on it for our Archer video.
Oh no.
So that went up on Sunday, and Joel messaged me going, the link I'm using, what video
did you
not working?
Get?
Yeah.
You didn't get a video?
No.
You didn't get never going to give you up?
No. It just got pointed to our website at all. So I had to fix all of that up yesterday morning and get all of that sorted. So a few technical issues in the ABV household, but after almost 2 years of doing this, to have sort of a week and a half of mistakes is not too bad. I think it's the first time it's happened.
That's how I feel at the moment. I've been brewing for 6 years, had like a month of mistakes.
Yeah. Sometimes it just happens, eh? Mate, new rooftop. You got a new rooftop? Yeah.
Our rooftop's the same.
Yeah.
But there's a new rooftop somewhere.
I'm reading a fucking ad. That's what the problem is. Mate, a new brewery up on Mount Tambourine.
Mountaintop.
Yes. The Kennel Tap Room by Boxer Brewing Co., which is at Witches Falls Winery, is now open.
Very cool.
Beers look great. Venue looks awesome. The photos.
Very sports bar-ish with the TVs, but like really nice fit out.
Yeah, I think it'll be a welcome addition up at the mountain. Fortitude probably needs to lift the game a little bit. But
I've actually never been to Fortitude.
Oh really?
Yeah, because
like
I don't know exactly where it is, but I know that it's not on the main road if you're driving to Mount Tambourine. Otherwise, I probably would have noticed.
No, with the roundabout where you go left to Gallery Walk.
Yeah.
You go right, and it's right there. It's like the big building on the right-hand side of the roundabout.
Well,
depends on which way you go up the
near the Irish pub.
No, that's at the other end of near the IGA. So that's on the way to Witches Falls, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So there's there's a number of little spots up there, which is pretty cool.
Well, I've never happened to go past it. And, every time I go up there, I'm like, I should check it out. But I'm with people who don't really want to go to a brewery, i.e. my wife and daughter.
Yeah, I just tell people I'm going for a pizza for lunch.
Yeah. Well,
and then we end up at a brewery.
I did try that last time, but still didn't work.
That's right. Yeah, but...
anyway.
Yeah. So, Abby is head brewer up there.
Abby from Sea Legs.
That's right.
Very cool.
Which, was it you who was telling me, I didn't even realise, is the owner's daughter.
Oh, I didn't realise that either.
No,
there you go.
I didn't know that either. So
there
she was over in Europe, and Johan, who helped set up the brewery, got it all going. He's down now at Sea Legs.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Head of production or something.
I had been wondering whether Johan was still here and just above Abby or what, but there you go.
Yeah,
swap jobs.
That's right, yeah.
Did the employers have to approve that, or can you just swap?
I got no idea what happened.
I might hit someone up if that's... No.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's funny. There you go.
Yeah. It's so that's pretty cool. So I'm actually looking forward to get up there, because when I was working up there at Fortitude Brewing, this wasn't finished yet. No. So I have been in there, and I did get to have a chat to Johan and see the space, like the brewery now at the back, but I haven't been up there and had any of the beers yet. But I have had the beers, a couple of their beers, like the IPA. I think
they released some cans, haven't they?
Yeah, one of the lagers, but other than that, haven't. So yeah, very keen to go up and check it out.
Very good.
Mate, Felons, did you hear the news about Felons during the week?
I heard the news about Felons months ago, but yes, I think I am talking about the same news you are.
Yes, yeah. So just making up Manly Wharf, putting in another big space down there. And I think they'll do well down there. They know what they're doing. They've got an idea of what they do. They like that big space. They're not afraid to take on. Yeah. You know.
I mean, the ownership has plenty of change. So I'm sure they'll make it amazing. I think I don't know. I haven't read this article in particular. I'm not sure whether it mentions where they're at with brewing equipment, etc. But
it doesn't say that.
I know there are aims to put a brewery down there. Obviously, Felons is hard pressed to produce enough beer for itself.
They wouldn't be able to do it at Felons to cope with it. So
I think from reports, there has been some push for them to produce some beer and send it down in the meantime. But I think it's been pretty.
Man, that'd be hard, because
pretty
as you said,
tough.
Felons have run out on room. Often.
Pretty tough ask.
Yeah.
But I think they're I remember hearing from someone that worked at Felons that they're going to get the venue up and running and get that happening first, and then put in a brewery and make it a similar sort of thing, which would be very cool.
It'd be a great spot to go too. If you've ever been to Felons up here in Brisbane, when you're standing there drinking beers on the Story Bridge, just with mates, it's exactly what it is, right? It's just this cool chill out venue, nice big glass of beer, hanging out with your mates, and you can see that happening as well, at Manly. At Manly, I reckon it'll be even bigger. Because it's already that area that does that sort of stuff. So
must be nice to have that much money and just be able to go, oh, where else is really picturesque? Oh, let's go for Manly Wharf. Let's do that.
One day, mate. One day.
Yeah, probably not, but that's okay.
We'll put a hiker on Mount Everest for you and Phil. Maybe just for Phil.
Feeling lightheaded? Have a couple of beers.
That's exactly right. A quick one too. Saw in Facebook this afternoon. Reese at Carbon 6 is looking for an assistant brewer.
Yes.
Which is pretty early in the piece, considering they don't have a tap room and they've only really just started releasing cans. So watch this space. That could be pretty cool.
Yeah, if anyone wants a job or knows someone who wants a job, hit up Reese.
That's right.
Not sure if he's still looking for a venue manager as well or not, but
I think part of being the assistant manager is running bar operations,
it's a bit of both,
as well as festivals and stuff. So I think it'll be all hands on deck for a bit, just to
that's fair enough.
Get things going to what you need to do.
Putting on 2 full-timers in both of those roles would probably be a little bit of a stretch.
A bit of cost prohibitive for sure. Mate, so I saw this the other day, and a change to taxable definition of beer in Australia. So I think it's all the things like like all the seltzers and everything that's coming out, as well as all fruity drinks and what like that. And so the ATO want to put a line in the sand and say, this is beer, because way back in the day when they last changed it, it was hops. Had to include like a certain amount of hops.
Yeah, it needed at least 4 IBUs.
Yep. And now, because there's a lot more things, a lot more beverages, right, that people are drinking. There's seltzers, there's the, what's that, tea, kombucha. There's all those sorts of things. There's ginger beers. There's a lot more products that we've got access to make beer with now as well. And so, I kind of think it's good, but I think it can hurt the craft brewing community as well, to a degree.
I think I'm assuming, again, sorry, haven't read this article.
Phil doesn't read the articles either, mate, so don't worry.
Yeah. Well, just pretend I'm Phil. I'm assuming this article is about the dilution rule. So still about the fermentation of predominantly malted or unmalted cereals.
Yep.
But the IBA has been pushing back on this draft ruling about diluting with water. So it's interesting. Like, I think they're going to leave it as is. It still has to be made from a solution predominantly from those cereals. It still has to have 4 IBUs and all the rest of it.
But is that just a case of them not understanding how brewing works? Like, if we want to get consistent, we're trying to brew high grav so we can liquor back. So that we can say this is 5% because we brewed it to 5.5 or 6 with that extra grain in mind, so that we can liquor back. And not only that, it makes it more efficient for us.
Well, it's either that or...
Because you're still paying excise on the ABV.
Exactly.
And if you're making more volume by liquoring back, you're still going to pay more anyway.
Yeah, I'm assuming they don't get it. I mean, if they do understand all of that, then it's a very blatant cash grab, because they know, like, bloody Forex and like Lion and CUB, they're all brewing 7% beers and like massively diluting them for different lines. Like they would be paying like RTD rates for excise, like surely not. And in terms of craft beer breweries, obviously, like, this affects the bigger ones a lot more.
The ones who are paying a lot more in excise.
Well, they're actually paying excise for a start, of course. But in terms of like diluting a beer enough to trigger this, I don't think it's done that often at small breweries like Hiker, but definitely at some of the bigger production breweries, 100%. Is the rule mentioned in this article?
No, it doesn't. It just says that they're still talking about it.
Because they haven't finalised it. No, it's a draft
still trying to work it out.
But there was a certain percentage of water that could be added to the product. And if you added more than that, it wasn't beer anymore, which seems ridiculous. Like, if you're... Seltzers are already not beer. Because of the cereal rule. I mean, you can brew a seltzer with cereal. But, like, so... Isn't that just a fruited beer then anyway? Like, what about fruity beer? I don't know if that's actually brewed with cereal or if they're just calling it beer on the label, but you know, like, I don't understand, because ginger beers, like, unless they are brewed with cereal, then why are they doing it? And if they're not brewed with cereal, then they're already an RTD. Like, what's the difference?
I don't know either, and I think it's just, I don't understand why they're making it so hard for an industry that so much of the public support want as something that they can enjoy. Like, it's just continual foot on the throat of the industry all the time without support. Which ironically is funny to say, because our next story, you got anything else to say on this before we move on?
No, that's fine.
So this week the PM says that fun is back in Sydney as the Inner West Ale Trail launches.
Oh, perfect timing.
That's right. You know,
the fun is back.
So I bet you they didn't get him drinking a yard glass or anything, a la Bob Hawke. But
no, probably not.
No, like, so the Inner West Ale Trail, 18 local breweries across Sydney's suburbs. Have you ever done the walk around that area?
Mate, never. It's hard, like, even Melbourne, like, whenever I go to Sydney or Melbourne, and I'm more often in Melbourne to begin with, but I don't have a car. Like, I'm taking an Uber into the city and staying in the city, and it's pretty hard to get around to suburbia. Not that Marrickville and stuff is that far out.
If you can get into like Newtown or Marrickville, once you get there, you're walking.
Yeah.
Like
Totally. Yeah.
Before COVID, I went to Newtown, went to Young Henry's, walked down to Grifter, and I was at the time I was wearing a Froth Society shirt.
Nice.
And I had a couple come up to me going, "You from Brisbane?" And I was like, I'm just walking around drinking on my own. And they're like, "Oh, we'll hang out with you." I'm fucking sweet, this is great.
Nice.
Then went to Source, Stockade, Wildflower. Went back to Source after I got kicked out of Stockade for falling asleep.
Wasn't drunk, it was after one beer.
It was a big day, it was a very big day. Oh, dude.
Yeah, I try and avoid Sydney as a city, but as a place for breweries, it's, there's heaps that I haven't done. So I just end up in Melbourne for stuff, ARBAs and things. Like I don't really.
I just find it real like a thing. The PM has announced this, and they launched it at a brewery, and he's been involved trying to get like the Sydney nightlife back up and going, which has died in the arse. But I don't know. I think it's really good that they're doing it.
Seems a bit like a token.
Exactly.
Even though the state election's coming up, not the federal, but
Yeah, so I don't know. But the actual trail itself, I think it'll be cool.
It's definitely great for those breweries. Like, not that they haven't already got
different advertising that you can make in New South Wales as opposed to Queensland, though. All the breweries on the Inner West Ale Trail, you're allowed 2-for-1 beers across all breweries. So you can walk
anytime?
For the next month or so.
Oh, okay. Right.
Like for the launch. So you can walk around all these breweries with your mate.
Why not drink double the amount? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you don't have to take a mate, do you?
Well, no, you don't. You just have 2 beers at every one.
Might fall asleep,
Yeah, I'd definitely kind of be what happened.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. It's very different.
It literally says in the article, $200 worth of free beer. You could not market that in Queensland.
Absolutely not.
Be downtrodden by a long way.
Yeah.
But, I thought that was interesting. So, there's all the breweries. Oh yeah, Batch. I went to Batch as well.
Nice.
Sadly, actually, this was supposed to be launched at Young Henry's, and it wasn't able to be. It had to be launched a day later at Mixtape Brewing and Bar, unfortunately, because someone at Young Henry's took their own life. And was found in the toilets there. So that was pretty sad and not the sort of thing that you want to have to hear anyone to go through.
A staff member or a patron?
I was a patron.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, so, man.
Very sad
Yeah.
thing, and especially like at the start of that sort of stuff as well. So when they're meant to be celebrating, going out and enjoying yourself. Commiserations and condolences to the families of that person.
Terrible.
Mate, I know that you love sciencey stuff.
I do.
Have you ever heard the word microfluidic?
No.
No.
I haven't.
I had to read about this today just to understand this. But there's a company over in the States. It's like a science company, obviously. And they're wanting to get down to the molecular level on how flavour in beer is created and how you can keep it going from beer to beer.
Yeah.
And it's a small little rubber thing. And so it's called Lab on a Chip. And it's a super small little device made from transparent stuff. And they've got like little pipes in them that are about the width of a human hair. And then they use them so they break it all down. They break beer down because beer essentially is an emulsion, right? We're pushing hop oils into water, and the carrier to do that, because oil and water don't mix, the carrier to do that is malt.
Yep.
And it'd be like doing their example in there is like a salad dressing, where you use like egg or mustard or something, which is the component that helps the oil emulsify into water.
Yep.
Bet you people didn't think they were going to get a lesson on emulsification.
Can we do a batch of Hollandaise while we're here?
Oh, mate. You got a good hollandaise recipe?
No, never made it myself.
Yeah, I can't do it either. I just buy it. But yeah, so what they're saying is that they're trying to work out the type of molecule that helps stabilise beer so that you can create more flavour in your beer. And it might be the type of oils from hops go with a particular type of malt, which a lot of us already know because we're all brewing beers so often that you just know some hops work better.
Yeah.
You know, we all know some hops aren't good for bittering.
Yeah.
If you've ever had a Galaxy beer, you know, that's been hopped with Galaxy as a bittering agent, like, oof, it's just not a nice bitter flavour.
Good times.
Yeah, and so this delves right down into the molecular product on it to pull out all this sort of information that you can find.
So you put this thing inside a beer line, or like a hose. I thought I saw something in there about it using it in line at a brewery.
So this little picture is like the beer on the thing. So there's an example of it.
Oh, gotcha.
Goes through, and the device reads that stuff so that you can find out what's going on. So their hop oils were alpha pinene and linalool, which also is just a fun word.
Linalool, yeah.
Linalool.
Yeah.
But they're present in hoppy beer. So those two hop oils differed in droplet stability with protein and enzyme treatment.
Yeah.
So I think, just for me, that's just fascinating. I just love this sort of stuff where you get to find different things about what we already drink and enjoy. But it's also helped them create more shelf-stable and flavoursome beers. So
I've been trying really hard to read bits of this while you're talking about it, but all I can think about is putting mustard and egg in a beer now.
Yeah.
Mustard or egg, one beer each.
I have put mustard. Well, I haven't put mustard in a beer, but I have put cauliflower, which is a part of the brassica family. So mustard, cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts are all part of the mustard family.
But mustard's a seed, right?
No, it's a plant.
Yeah, sorry, yes, but like when we eat mustard, it's ground up
They're
seed.
all actually from the same plant.
So can we eat the mustard plant as well if we're eating the cauliflower plant?
Probably.
Well, why haven't we done that?
I don't know.
And what happens if we grind up cauliflower seeds? Is that a new condiment?
This isn't MasterChef, I don't know.
Sorry. Yeah, off topic.
I don't know. Yeah, I reckon we could. I don't know. But it meant I do know that when I was researching how to brew with cauliflower, I had to work out how to get the sulfur compounds out of the cauliflower to brew with it so that they didn't come through and the beer just tastes like mustard.
Yeah.
So...
Interesting.
Yeah, has nothing to do with this article, but it's a cool little story nonetheless.
Definitely going to make a mustard beer now.
Yeah, I'm up for it. I'm keen. I'll give you my cauliflower recipe.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah. So, a couple of weeks ago, Phil and I were talking about this brewery, Species X Beer Project. I don't know if you ever heard about this or knew about it.
No, I
They
didn't.
used they had about 20 taps in the tap room. Half of the tap house was created beers by using AI, and the other half of the tap room created beers with the brewer. The brewer wrote the recipe and did all of that stuff. So they fed their AI thing with, I think I was reading down here, they had 180 different elements of the brewing process that they fed into the AI to make the beer, and then they also had just a head brewer just making the beers, and off they go, and you could taste them sort of side by side, whatever.
Interesting.
That only came out like 2 weeks ago, and now they've decided to close.
Did AI tell them to or something?
Probably not a good thing. I don't know why. It doesn't say why, but they're just saying that it's just very difficult in
State of the industry,
and they just can't continue. So
crazy.
Which is a bit sad, but also, not surprising. If we talked about every brewery that's shut down, I'd have a list a mile long every week.
Yeah,
because I read about them all the time.
It's in some ways probably better to cut your losses early as well. If you realised that it's for whatever reason not a good business model, or the time's not right in the industry. I mean, at least you're not trying to flog the dead horse.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're both just sitting here and Phil's just standing there staring up at the big ass fan.
I've just realised what he's staring at. One of the cables that's holding the fan up is wobbling quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just because they haven't tightened it as much as the other ones, but
like
I've never noticed that before.
You need to get a dude in to look at it.
Yeah, maybe.
Mate, Evergreen beer
The Evergreen beer, yes.
that we got on tap here. It's going all right, eh?
It is going very well.
Abstracts hops. Weird name. Abstracts hops. You've got to really say the X, but
Yeah.
is the X pronounced like that? I wonder if it's pronounced abstracts. Extras. Who cares? That company.
Abstraz.
Yeah.
I think it's abstracts. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're pulling out all of those tech things, so they've released a whole bunch of new flavours.
Yeah.
So from fruit. You're obviously way up on this, having brewed the terpene IPA, the Evergreen, which tastes great and amazing with the cannabis extracts. Have you seen this? Are you going to do something with this, or you?
Yeah, actually, you heard it here first.
Here we go.
The next hazy IPA that we're going to be brewing is scheduled in, and we're going to load up the whirlpool with hops, but there won't be any dry hop. We'll be using 3 different terpene extracts from abstracts. So
yeah, cool.
A couple of them are the new ones here in this list. So the list is clementine, grapefruit, honeydew, kiwi, passion fruit, and raspberry. So the plan for this beer is to use a mixture of passion fruit, guava, and mango.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, should be pretty tasty.
Is clementine just mandarin?
Clementine, maybe? I don't think so. I think it's a type of orange,
Okay.
but I could be wrong.
Yep. Yeah. So, how did you find using these terpenes?
Yeah, it was good. Like I still dry hopped Evergreen with a bunch of Eldorado and a bunch of Eldorado in the whirlpool as well. And then saves so much beer in terms of increasing your yield.
Yep.
So basically, dry hopped and let the beer run its course, and chilled it and carbonated it and dumped as much trub out as I could.
Yeah.
And then pushed these terpene bottles of terpene in with a purge keg.
Yep.
Just to get the maximum utilization out of that flavour. And I noticed it did make the beer slightly hazy.
Yep.
Not just because I was pushing stuff into the tank and
yeah.
stirring it up, but like the beer was bright, and even now it's still just a touch hazy, which is interesting. And it did kill the head retention a little bit, but it's not terrible. It's not like a sour that just disappears straight away or anything like that.
Yep.
It's just not quite as good as it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's lots of natural extracts, whatever that means.
Yeah.
And I mean, even this stuff has obviously got other chemicals added to it to make it a stable.
Yep.
Have a shelf life and be able to be packaged and stable. But I just think it's pretty cool that we're actually just isolating flavour compounds directly from nature.
Yeah, I think it's really cool.
Yeah. I'm really excited to use these fruit ones rather than using another sort of fruit extract or even adding fruit puree or whatever. I'm excited to take the best bits and chuck them in a beer.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's great. Mate, the next article, what classic rock songs pair best with craft beer?
Oh, surprised you didn't cut this out from the rehearsal, but go on.
No, that's why I thought it was good. Yeah. So
some of them are, some of these are good.
Yeah. So, what do you reckon? Stout and Black Sabbath.
I mean, they've put that first for a reason.
Yeah.
That's classic. That's 100%.
Yep. Pilsner and Peter Frampton.
Yeah, I don't know who Peter Frampton is.
Nah, me either. Yep. So that doesn't
Oh, Baby,
work.
I Love Your Way. Okay, I know that song.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe. Not really for a Pilsner, for my mind though.
Yeah.
IPA and the Eagles.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
absolutely.
that'll work.
Very much so.
Yep. Amber Ale and Guns N' Roses.
Got a bit more of a malt body than.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like this, this article comes from American songwriter. It doesn't come from a beer.
Nothing to do with beer.
Beer news thing. So
interesting.
Brown Ale and Heart.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
And Summer Ale and Bruce Springsteen.
That's another one that sounds about right to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting comparisons.
100%.
Why wouldn't you try and match up each beer style to a band.
100%.
Yeah.
And made the last one, quick article on the best vegetarian substitute for Parmesan. What do you reckon it is?
Well, I reckon I know because I've had it. Because I'm friends with McWurst.
Yes. Nutrient yeast. That's right. I did not know that. I did not expect to know that.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
It's very good. Salty, umami, doesn't taste exactly like cheese, but like if you're... It does taste pretty similar to like a shaved Parmesan being sprinkled on top of something. Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
it's I think some people too, like they're not able to have Parmesan, so they need to have that substitute for their health. It's not necessarily they're just trying to do it because they don't want to eat the cheese. It's just they can't eat the cheese.
Yeah, totally.
It's like me, I can't drink coffee. Everyone's always like, "Oh man, how do you survive?" Well, I've never been able to drink coffee. I've not been addicted to it.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. But yeah, it's didn't realise that it comes with its own name called Nooch.
Nooch?
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
Yeah, I don't know. But I wonder, like, if it's just like a case of like if you're doing like a lager and you pull off the tube and you just throw it in a dehydrator, can you make your own?
Probably.
Nooch.
I know why it's called Nooch, because Americans say nutritional.
Yeah, for nutritional yeast.
Instead of nutritional,
that's
like
right.
a real person.
Yeah.
Nooch, that's what we're going to call it.
Yep.
Nooch. Maybe. I mean, it says it's Saccharomyces cerevisiae.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's many different strains within that species, but I mean, I'm sure you could.
Yeah.
It'll probably have a bit of a beer flavour to it as well, which might be nice.
Yeah.
Maybe not a heavily dry hopped beer. It might be a bit bitter.
Yeah, that's why I think just a lager.
Yeah.
Mate, what beer are you drinking? I didn't ask you before. I've got the new Vienna lager that we got on tap.
I have also got the new Vienna lager. Yeah, what a coincidence.
Yeah. Mate, it's
Mountain Pass.
She's a drop clear just in time for the Beer Muta event on the weekend, isn't it?
Nothing like cutting it fine. Yeah, no, it was hazy the day before, but kegged a couple the morning of, and pretty much bright. So
nice.
Phil's recipe. He did quite a few homebrew batches of Vienna lager because it was one of his epiphany beers.
Yep.
And this is where he got to by the time he sort of stopped homebrewing and started a business. So yeah, he sent that to me. I scaled it up, and we brewed it together. And
I'm liking the recipe. It's
pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good beer. It's very like smashable, right? Like you could have a couple of pints of this easily.
Yeah.
And just keep going. Like
It's got body. It's malty, but it's still just super easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm loving it. Anything else, mate?
I don't think so.
No. Sweet. All right.
Phil's counting things now.
I know, he's just walking around pointing at the roof. Now
I think he's thinking about Oktoberfest.
He's trying to work out decorations. And
maybe he wasn't looking at the fan after all.
Maybe he wasn't.
I'm just going to pretend I didn't notice that thing wobbling. We'll be right.
Oh, shit.
That's how we do it here at Hiker.
That's it, 100%. All right, mate. Well, thank you very much once again for standing in and doing the episid twice.
Thank you. Yeah, no problem. It looks like it goes quicker when you do it the second time. You feel like you don't want to repeat yourself because...
we've already talked about it.
Even though no one's heard it.
That's right. I heard a little bit of it, and it sounded like shit because it was the wrong microphone. So, apologies, everyone.
No. Good times.
Yeah. No one really messaged me or gave a shit. So I did have some people message me and say, hey, no podcast this week. And I went, had to be all sheepish. And...
I usually do get one or two messages when I step in for Phil, and I thought, oh, mate, maybe it was a terrible episode because he only told me today that it didn't go up.
No, I know.
Like, that's funny.
I didn't know how to say anything. I was like, maybe Dan won't want to do it again if I tell him.
Okay, mate, it's fine. Before we do go, hopefully I'm not as hiker forward as Phil, but little plug. Saturday week, 19th of October, Back to the Future Day at Hiker.
Yes, that is going to be fun. It is going to be a good event.
Yeah, if I can't even come, which is very upsetting. I have to be away that weekend. But launching a big 8.8% double IPA in collaboration with White Lies. We'll have a DeLorean, a real-life DeLorean in the venue.
Came in the other week, you and I sat in the car. Did you sit in it?
I didn't sit in the car, no.
Yeah. You were dressed as Marty McFly. And yeah, it's going to be a great event.
Theme trivia in the evening. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a whole heap of signs made up too for Phil to stick up around the place and for just people to get into it. Sean from Rebel Fork is taking some of the wort that you put aside from that beer.
That's potentially the bit that I most don't want to miss.
I'm the same. Yeah, I'm exactly the same. He said that he's going to try and do like use it as a marinade on something. So
I was going to braise something in it.
Yeah.
I've got a little cube of double IPA wort set aside for Sean, so something delicious will come of that, I'm sure.
Yep. So
yeah, this is going to be a thing. We're making it a thing.
100%.
It's the new Star Wars Day.
Next year is going to go off.
Yes.
And we've got a time machine, so we can go and check
it out.
We know that that's
already.
what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. We didn't check on this year, which is why we're trying to get people to come, because we don't know. We forgot to check on this year's event.
So you can't travel in the same year. As
no. Flux capacitor can't handle that.
100%. Yeah.
Anyway, come along. It'll be great.
Yeah, it'll be a good event. Awesome, mate. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Pour it out.
Take a hike.
And we are out.